came across this website called ham-qtv.com and just learned about that website. There's not much information about the website, what exactly it does, so that's what I will be covering on this here. So this website is interesting to anybody in the amateur radio community, ham radio, that would like to operate and work with a special event. So first of all, the question is, what exactly does QTV stand for? So if you're looking at the Q codes and find QTV in here, and we see the definition is, shall I stand guard for you on the frequency of that many megahertz from these hours. So basically it is to schedule operators for a special event so that multiple operators can work a special event call signs without conflicting. So for example, we have here the W1AW/0 event, which is specifically for Iowa during this time period. So if we click on here, we can see the various day that special event operates, and right here we have a table QRV. That means that those slots are taken by some operator to operate for this event. So you can switch the columns as you want to, and you see right now the current time, and at 15 meters CW that band and mode is being claimed by an operator. That doesn't necessarily mean that that person is operating there. So if you're hunting for the special event, it might help you slightly, but it doesn't guarantee that that person is actually operating on 15 meter CW. This same thing with these here. It just means that for these time slots, that call sign is, these time slots and the mode and the band, that call sign is being claimed by an operator. So we don't have a conflict that two operators operate the same call sign on the same mode and the same band. So now if you wanted to be an operator, let's say for this event here, the W1AW event, what you do first is register on this site. So you just enter your call sign, email address, name, and then create a password. And I think that's pretty much automatically you get an account created. Once you have the account created, you can log in right here with your call sign and the password. So let me do that right now. And once you signed in, you see the same dashboard again along with your profile right here. So if you click on the profile, you get the same screen again where you can change your email address and the password and so on. What is different now is you can click on the event that you want to work for example here. So if you want to work for this event, you click on request to operate. So right here you can leave a generic message, and that message gets sent to the person that manages that event, and they manually approve you to be an operator for that event. So if you go back under the dashboard, right here is two toggles, so the events I participate in. If I toggle that, you can see I registered to participate in this event. So now I can go in here, click on the event, and I like the other view a little bit better. And here you see I can take now specific slots for the specific bands and modes. So if you scroll down, you can now see who is operating. You can see that I've taken this time slot before to operate. So I could click on here to take this time slot. Let me just take something nobody wants. So if I take the phone on 23 centimeters. I click on take. It says, do you want to take it? You click on take again, and now we have it. I can click on here and I can release that time slot again. So that prevents that any two people are working the same call sign on the same band and mode. It's totally fine for that call sign to be used on the same band but in a different mode, or the same mode but on a different band at the same time. So this is pretty sweet. The next thing would be events that I manage. Right now I don't manage any events, so let's go ahead and set up a new event. So if you click on new event, we can type in the call sign for the event. Let me get the details. So I'm running a special event for the Amateur Radio Software Award, and there we will have the call sign sorry, no, that's my call sign, K7A, and the event is the can't type and talk, Amateur Radio Software Award. The description right there, let me copy and paste that. Okay, I need to correct a few things. Okay, so we have the description here. The interesting part is on the dates. I'm using a special event station. So there I have the call sign from November the 27, 2026 all the way, oops, sorry, wrong place. November 27, 2026 through December 7th. So the time zone is tricky because on the 1x1 call sign they don't mention actually what time zone you're reserving those. So I'm just gonna have this here leave at the Zulu time, so that will be actually closed before I ever start. And here I just use my time zone. That would be -6 hours, so I am 6 hours behind. So I just open up the slot at 6. The operating time slot length, so you want to book by the hour or by 2 hours. I'm just leaving it by the hour. And here you can select what bands you want to operate in, what modes you want to operate. And I'm gonna add 16 and 30 as well on here, and that looks good. So I click on create. And now I should have my future event created somewhere down here. Right here, K7A. We are listed. Now we can just toggle the switch right here. So I just see my events that I manage. So I can go in here and I can take all of the time slots as before. And then if I click on manage, I can assign here people that want to participate on this event. So this is my brief overview of what Ham QTV is. On my next event I'm gonna try to use that because I'm coordinating that one with several operators. So hope that video helped you, and I hope maybe we hear ourselves on the air. As you see, I have a special event coming up for the Amateur Radio Software Award. We have that every year at the end, toward the end of the year, where we just celebrate the awards and the nominee that won the award in that specific year. See you next time!